Welcome back, everybody, to episode number 2 in our Flotsam series. Over the course of the night, we managed to get all of our drying racks to finish drying, and we're now taking our dried wood and putting it into our sawmill, which means we'll start getting plank production, and we can progress forward with our food and water production. Chop Shop is up and running. We have a couple different options of things we can make here. First is seaweed salad, which is an icky quality food, but it's the only option we have right now. We could also make seaweed sheets, but that is just an ingredient to make other food, which we have not unlocked yet. And then we can make bird chow if we collect unbottled fish, and that's just an ingredient used to lure birds to our boat. So we're making some seaweed salad. So we have at least some food. We'll have to work on better food production here in a little bit. So now that we have food going, our focus is on getting our solar stills up and running so we can replenish our water. With solar stills, they're not super efficient, and so what we need to do is have at least one solar still for each drifter we have on the boat. So since we have 3 of them, we're going to need to build 3 of these solar stills, which is going to take a lot of planks, which is going to take some time. We got our seaweed salads being produced. We have gotten enough planks, so we're building our first solar still. And we have our dude over here continuing to work on plastic production, and we have logs drying. Just now got our day 3 report. So we can see that while we still consumed 3 water and 3 food, we were able to produce 1 food, which makes our total food loss a little bit less. And the energy, we didn't move around quite as much this time, so we had a little bit less to go, but we still have a ways to go with everything. So we're going to let this production keep going until we have some solar stills built. And hopefully we get to a point where we're a little bit sustainable with food and water. And then the next thing we're going to work on is going into our research, which will allow us to make farms to grow food so that we're completely sustainable. We've reached the end of day 4. Managed to get 2 solar stills up and running. And so the way these work is that they just passively sit, and they have salt water they collect from the ocean, and it slowly turns into fresh water. So it takes about 1 day for each one of these to finish, and that's why I need 1 for each of my drifters, so that each one of them will consume the water that is produced from each of the solar stills. Later on we'll get into more efficient water production, but for now this will get us to a sustainable level on water. We turned all the seaweed we had into seaweed salad, so we'll have to go in search of more seaweed soon. But we also have enough food to get us through for a little while. I had wanted to do research, but then I realized that the next thing we really need to focus on is getting some beds for our drifters, because they're running on really poor morale and they're exhausted most of the day. So we're going to spend day 5 working on getting some beds made for our little guys. So to do that, we're going to make a new pathway out here. And then for beds, we need to get more goods in order to do it. So to find goods, we have to go to our map, actually we have one in range, I think. That is one for trees. So we have to look around. We can see that there are different ruins. We can come back here. I think we haven't gotten these yet. So let's take a look. How much do we have left to harvest here? Still have 7 here. I'm going to let our drifter finish salvaging this. Then we're going to move our boat back over to here to check out the ruins and see if we can't find some goods so that we can make some beds. So we did move our boat over here. This Rural Ruins Island has 10 goods that we can scavenge, so we're going to send somebody out for that. And this one also has 6, so we'll send somebody over for that. And we'll let our other drifter continue to work on production back here at our boat. We have gotten all the goods we needed. We've completely salvaged these ruins, and we have production started on 3 beds so that our drifters will have somewhere to sleep. Also going to queue up our research station because that's the next thing I want to work on, and we have the materials to do it. And then while they're working on doing those things, I'm going to look at our map and see where we want to head to next. I think that I'm going to head all the way over to here because there is wood, there's plastics, there's some more things to salvage, and there is a little bit of food. So we're going to head over there. Using up a lot of our juice to get there, but that's okay. We will get it all sorted out. I want to kind of position us so that we're definitely over that food. Oh, I don't know if that's going to work. We'll see. Food is our priority at the moment. So we'll send somebody over for that. We'll send a salvager over here to get this wood. And then plastics was also there over here. And so we can park ourselves here for a little while they get all that done and they continue to finish our construction. We are approaching the end of day 5 and we have managed to get all 3 of our beds set up and going, and our stills have been running, so we've gotten water today. So when we see our day 5 report, we should be able to see that we have made as much water as we're consuming, which is pretty exciting. And our drifters will finally be able to get a good night's sleep, which is also really helpful for our morale and for them not having the exhaustion debuff. So if we look here, okay, so it says we crafted 2 water and consumed 3, probably because this one was not quite finished during the day and we're only halfway through making the water. But right now we have one that's about to finish, one that's halfway through, and one that's already started. So on the next day's report, we should definitely have 3 water produced and 3 water consumed, which means we should be able to, as long as we have these here and we don't get any more drifters, keep our water reserves at a stable level. We do need to finish getting our research station set up so that we can research better ways to produce water and making some sustainable food. But now we have a place for our drifters to sleep and the water sorted at least, so we should be able to survive for a little while longer until we can get the sustainable food up and going. Research station is finished. So this gives us our first chance to look at our research panel and see our research tree. So we have several different trees that we can work on. Rope crafter would get us into crafting, the ability to craft rope. Chopping block would give us wood walkways and ways to make dry wood into firewood. Fishing chair is the one that we're probably going to be doing here. That gives us the ability to collect fish and the ability to make dried fish into fish sticks. Watchtower adds us the ability for a watchtower, which makes us to see more on the map. Now, as far as the trees, they're sort of broken up into those categories. This one is unlocks the ability to make more buildings. This one is more of along the production with better power and better water production. And this one is all food related items. So we'll unlock the fishing chair, which will allow us to get into seaweed grower to make sustainable seaweed, and also have a place where we can catch fish from the boat. So that is our focus for the moment. Once we get that done, we will actually have everything be fully sustainable for the immediate future, so that we can provide food and water for our drifters. Now we're down to 2 water, but we have 2 of these that are about to finish, and this one should finish by the end of the day as well, which will get us back up to our 5. I think that I may work on building an extra solar still so that we have a little bit more, because I'd like to fill our reserves up. And we have the resources to do that. So I'm gonna focus on getting that done. We're still salvaging all the different areas around here. We have some, oh, that's trees. We have some goods we scavenged from here, and then we have some markers that are left, but we'll soon be heading out to another new area. Research for our fishing chair is done, which means that once we have one more floater, we'll be able to build a fishing chair to collect fish, and then we can build our fish drying rack. I think that we'll put that one in already right over here. We have the materials for it, and then we're just gonna have to get a few more pieces of plastic for our fishing chair. So let me see. We have. Looks like we have all our floaters are committed to other things, so what we need to do is find some more plastic on our map. So if we come around here to this side, like that. Now, still want to get that last food. Get all the plastic over here. And then, of course, we have the one that's right next to our boat. Oh, we already had a marker on that. That's okay. It'll just get it done even faster. Now it's just a matter of waiting time for them to gather all the resources and build the things that we need. We have moved on. Our research is, we are now researching the seaweed grower, which is important step towards our sustainability. We got our day 6 report. It looks like we still are only getting 2 water a day and consuming 3. So I am glad I'm adding another still so we can get that up higher. We consumed 3 food, but we didn't make any today, which means that we're running really low on food. But we have our fish sticks being built, which means we'll be able to dry fish. And we have queued up for our fishing chair, which means we'll be able to catch fish. So once those are done, we'll be better. We're also doing our research. We're halfway through to having our seaweed grower, and we do have some seaweed spores, which means we'll be able to grow some seaweed in our grower. I'm not quite sure how that one works. I've never used it, so we'll see how that goes. But we're going to let this all finish up, and hopefully we'll get to the point of sustainability on food very soon. After I finished the research on the seaweed grower, I realized that we actually need to be able to craft rope and looks like metal plates for the ability to make the seaweed grower, so we have a little ways to go for that. Rope crafting, I have started the research on that, so we'll be able to set that up. The metal plates, I guess that might be a salvage item, because I don't see an ability to craft it anywhere in here. So I guess that means we have to find a place where we can salvage that from. So there's some other things in here that'll help with that. If we are able to make tools, we'll be able to salvage more from our salvage spots and things like that. And we can also research salvage boats so we can get out there. But it looks like for the time being, as far as food sustainability, getting our fishing chair set up, drying some bottled fish is going to be the way to go. I was hoping to get the seaweed up and running, but it's going to take a little bit longer. So we do have the ability to take metal scrap and turn it into metal plate. That came when we unlocked the rope crafting. I did not notice that. But we do not have any metal scrap yet. I think that what we should focus on is getting a salvage boat so that we can salvage much more things and not have to have people swimming out to get all of our salvage. For now, I'm done with all of our salvage areas in this spot here, but I'm going to let everybody sit for a minute so they can get our construction here done on our fishing chair so we can start getting food production up. Because food is very low right now, and I don't want people starving. At the end of day 7, we're in a little bit of a precarious spot. We have some more food that can be produced in the chop shop, but today we didn't make any food. We only made 1 water, and we consumed 3 of each. So right now we have 2 food reserves and 2 water reserves. So that means that if we have another day like today, we're going to have people starving and very close to running out of water. So we need to focus on getting this food production up and running. But we're going to call it for today. We've gotten quite a bit done. Next episode, hopefully we will get to the point where we are completely sustainable by the end of it. And that will allow us to progress a lot farther. Hope you enjoyed watching it. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.